Question number 2, the Honourable Annette King.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question's to the Minister for Social Development and Employment. Does she stand by her statement, quote, "There are jobs out there," end quote, given statistics released this week show there are 47,000 fewer jobs than 3 years ago?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, absolutely, particularly in light of statistics released a few weeks ago that show more people are employed than ever before.
The Honourable Annette King.
Supplementary question. In light of that answer, is it now the government's position to rely on the Household Labour Force Survey as the measure of unemployment and employment, in light of the Prime Minister recently dismissing the Household Labour Force Survey as notoriously volatile and just a survey?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, there are a number of reports on employment and unemployment that come out during the year. I know the members on the other side pick which sort of report they want to use at different times, and that actually chooses them some concern. But as I'm saying, there is actually a measure here that says that we have more people employed than ever before, and I know we don't want to see that as being a good story, but actually it is.
Supplementary question, Mr Speaker. Was she aware when the Prime Minister said yesterday employment is at the highest level ever, that in fact the increase was a mere 5,000 people over 3 years, while the working age population actually grew by 103,200 people?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, yes, and I think in the light of us having one of the worst global recessions that this world has seen in such a long time, that is actually quite remarkable that we have seen that level of growth in employment.
The Honourable Annette King.
Supplementary question. Where are the additional 98,000 working age people who have been added to the Household Labour Force Survey figures over the past 3 years? And do they account for some of the 45,000 extra unemployed people under her stewardship?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, in respect, I thought just the beginning of that question was where are they? Can I just check that? Sorry, Mr Speaker, I didn't quite get the beginning.
That's correct.
So it was, well, they're in work because they're counted as being in employment, or they are in training, which is a reality as well, Mr Speaker, and just by the sheer measure of the HLFS and the numbers that are coming into the country, that is how it's made up.
The Honourable Annette King.
Supplementary question. Was the 170,000 new jobs National promised in their May budget predicated on 4% growth by 2013? If not, what was the promise the 170,000 new jobs were based on?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, that was a Treasury prediction, and as the Minister before me just said, it's one that we feel can be reached, and we can see no reason why to question it.
The Honourable Annette King.
In light of that answer, Mr Speaker, if 4% growth helps to create 170,000 jobs, as set out in the May budget, how many jobs is the government now expecting to be created, given the Minister of Finance said yesterday that he expected growth forecasts to come back over the next 2 or 3 years?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, those sorts of predictions are for Treasury, and something that I would be suggesting that perhaps the member wants to actually put her questions to the Minister for Treasury for.
The Honourable Heather Roy.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister. In light of the Department of Labour report, which revealed that the abolition of the youth minimum wage pushed up to 9,000 young people out of work, does the Minister think the report was wrong, or does she concede that abolishing the youth rates were a mistake that should be fixed immediately?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, I think there are a number of reasons why young people are out of work disproportionately at the moment. One of the main ones being the recession and the effects of that, and them having fewer skills and experience to take into the workforce. So I know that the member certainly cites reports that say that the abolition of the youth minimum wage is one of them, but I think there's also others that need to be taken into consideration.
Grant Robertson.
Further to that answer, can the Minister advise if she has received any reports on policies promoted by the ACT Party that would rather be for young people, rather than let them eat cake, it's let them smoke dope?
Order. Only a couple of days back I didn't allow a similar type of question asking about reports on Labour Party policies, and perhaps to be... I don't believe... No, I didn't. No, we talked you into it. No. Order. No, I didn't. I did not allow the question, and I'm not going to allow that one either. Question number 3, the Honourable Sir Roger Douglas.